live on YouTube. Oh, you know what? You just have enough of this. What's going on? As you know, if you watch the news, there was recently a shooting in Minnesota. As you know, they have the court case for the guy who killed George Floyd right now, and now they have another murder of a black man in Minnesota. But I'm not gonna talk about that too much because I'm really just tired of it. But this is here is a story where it really got my attention, and I've seen some people talked about it, and mentioned it. And I know I need to speak on this. And this was a story was posted about a couple of days ago. But here's the thing about this: the event of this happened December, the end of last year, and you out here one lieutenant, second lieutenant Carrion Nazario. All right, so and the story goes like Lieutenant Nazario was driving. He was somewhere in Virginia, and he was being followed by police. And here's the rule: is they a lot of there's a pretty much there's a thing we put in now that a lot of people are told when you drive someplace dark when you're not certain, you drive to the nearest place where some lights are, so you won't be feel like that you're in the dark. There's been a lot of cases of people who've been murdered, violated by so-called police or actually by the police, and then need to be more of a place where it's more you have more light, when you have more witnesses and stuff like that. Well, here Lieutenant Rosario stops off at a gas station somewhere in Virginia, and he stops by two police officers. And one this nut here by the name of Joe Gutierrez, who pulls out his gun. And then this dumb numbnuts behind him, Officer Crawford, also pull out his gun. And they asked for no, they demanded Lieutenant Nazario to get out of his car, and they followed his car because of his plates. He just got the car. Sometimes you got also he's in the military, so you have military plates, and um, they it's just they didn't have the common sense just to simply ask, "Excuse me, sir, yeah, 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 da." And all he saw was a black man, and he was scared, genuinely scared of why these officers are pulling out the guns. I mean, and in just him and his dog. His dog was in his SUV with him. And then Officer Gutierrez decides to spray Lieutenant Nazario in the face with pepper spray. And if you watch the video, he didn't want to take off his seatbelt because he wanted to look like he's reaching for something, and that's a lot of we black people should do. Anytime we keep our hands in front of them at all times, and we don't want to reach for anything. Most of the time I don't drive with a seatbelt on, so so if I have to get out, I can get out. And so they put him on the ground, and they pretty much pat him down. And this is just ridiculous, where it's just a simple traffic stop, but they took it to the extreme and they just treat him like he was a criminal. Where they could have just simply asked, "Sir, ask some questions, treat him like a human being, have respect for his uniform," you know. And we all often hear about these how people say like, "Have respect for the military, have respect for the military." There was no respect for the military. Actually, soldiers get more respect than police officers because actually they have to fight real enemies, had to fight real enemies of this country, and they risk their lives. You know, and like I said, he was saying his dog was also affected by the pepper spray, and I feel bad. That's inhumane actions against the animal. I mean, it's just sad, you know. And then he had to come out and get assistance because pepper spray in his face. But it's just ridiculous. It don't make sense how they could just can't just stop and ask the man, say, "Excuse me, sir, we realize or excuse me, you're military, sorry that there's some military tags," and went off by the business. But no, they were looking for a reason to kill a black man. That's my mindset of it. And the police is always gonna hedge their wagons around their boys. But from what I heard, the one of the officers, the bald fat piece of trash, Joe Gutierrez, was fired. But the thing is, he's gonna get another job someplace else. It's always, and this is what we should do. This is like this: when a cop like that is fired for excessive force, don't keep pushing them on to another city, to another state, another county. You know, put it and it made it impossible for him ever to get a job. And right now, the governor of Virginia, well, he's shocked by it, but we're not gonna get anything from out of him. He's not gonna bust a grape. It's just this is always happening. These politicians are too afraid to push back against the police union. Realize something: the police work for the people, and they are dogs on a chain. And if the dogs take control of the house, you're not the master. You're the in other words, you're the female dog. You're the bitch. Well, Lieutenant Nazario has filed a lawsuit against the police in that county, and I hope it's good luck. He might get Ben Crump. Ben has been busy. He's all over the place. And you got to respect it. This is a man who probably has been, overseas. He's commanded men to go into battle, and he's been in battle himself. You know, and if it's anything, he's not one of the guys you can, he's a regular criminal like that. This is United States military. And the thing is, but also he's of mixed race. He is not mixed race. He's mixed cultures. He is of Afro descent and also of Hispanic descent, and that's double in jeopardy, against double jeopardy against him. But the fact is, this right here, this was where saying that you should respect this man. There's nothing you can frame him against, and the army should say something. I think most definitely the Pentagon should see this. If you're gonna pepper spray men and women who defend this country, and you don't have respect for them, and talking about all the time respect for the uniform, respect for the military, and this is what I mentioned, like my man Abel Mahari, who did a video, and shout out to Abel, but most of Abel, he's pretty also up on this stuff just as much as I am, saying that this is what Colin Kaepernick was being in need for. He wasn't against soldiers, and here's a soldier right here who was assaulted by police, pepper sprayed for over tags. Now, if it was somebody white, they would have stopped him, asking him a simple question. But they already had their guns out blazing. The only reason why they had the guns out blazing because he gave him a chase. But what it was, he's down a dark road in Nowheresville, and he don't want to, and like I said, people have been told, like there was a thing called the blue lights situation where people impersonated cops. They were raping women, robbing, killing, and women were told, go someplace where lit, where you have, where highly populated, where people's around. So you don't want to risk your life. And this is something that's been told by people. And even police know that this is something that's been enforced. This is where now a standard that people are told, go someplace where there's a high population and there's enough, you have enough light, or someplace where you can be seen, just in case if it's fake police, you stop at a gas station, or there's a gas station there, there's someplace with lights, there's someplace with a camera, so you can, usually these fake police will usually run off. Even with the real police, you should do it. Don't take no chances with your life. But like I said, Karen, Lieutenant Nazario, I really respect this man. I salute him and salute his services. I have two family members who were, I have a nephew who's still in the military, I have a niece who just got out last year, and I respect what they do. And even I had a part one time I was finished with the military, but I don't know, maybe my heart wasn't really in it. But like I said, Joe Gutierrez, if you know his name, don't hire him. If he's hired by any local police within Virginia, like I say, Virginia's not far from where I say I live in North Carolina, and you probably can come to North Carolina. So share this video if you're in North Carolina. Remember the name Joe. It was probably Joseph Gutierrez, and also the fullback in Virginia, Clark. I think because he's the younger officer, he followed the older officer. He should be punished too. He should be sent. He should be taken off of patrol, put behind a desk, and at least for one thing, suspended for at least 30 days without pay, for being stupid, for not having enough common sense to like, hey, sir, let's just simply ask the question. But you know what? He's being young, and the older guy probably told him, hey, we're going to do this. Yeah. But it's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. But like people say, we want to respect the military and, respect the police. I respect the military more because they actually perform a service for this country. The police are just dogs in chains who just want to throw their weight around. It's your mail always George Page. Like, don't subscribe, whatever. I'm just pissed off and I'm out.